How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Clover Health. I've been getting some messages, Dre. We need to get an update. You made a video recently. What is the game plan? So you know what? We're going to talk about it a little bit more inside of this video. But before we get started, of course, we got to go over the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to be going over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We need a game plan. We need a strategy. And by taking a look at the technicals, it can help us with that. And then secondly, we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. This is key because it will have an impact on the stock price. And then afterwards, we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. Are institutions loading up on large scale orders for Clover? We're about to find out. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for CLOV. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $8.17. being down 3.77%. On the low, it tested $8.01, and then on the high, testing $8.53. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see that we traded at 20.854 million shares, and for the average volume over 10 trading days being at 35.134 million shares. So we did have below average volume here, but of course we see CLOV is holding up that $8 level, which we were talking about previously. So now when we take a look at our chart, we're using the 1 year daily chart. We could tell from the RSI down below, we're right around 45.46. So we are in the oversold territory here. And then when we take a look at our chart, we are below the 200 day, the 100 day, and as well as the 21 day EMA. So we are continuing to hold up this $8 area of support, and this is something that is great to see. We ended up testing 801 on the day, but of course we ended up recovering where we closed at 817. If we take a look at the 21 day EMA being at $8.58, of course this is now an area of resistance. We ended up testing $8.53, so just shy of that. So as far as this week progresses, we want to see CLOV be able to actually get past that 853 and make that test at least going to around 860. If we can build up consolidation and some support above 860, that is the most preferable situation that we'd want to see. If it does decide to pull back even further, which we've seen inside of the past, then of course I'd want to see it hold up here around $7.80. And I also took a position in CLOV as well, so I'd love to see it actually have some momentum above 8. And then of course I'd want to see that move going to the 100 day here around $9.37. I feel like if we can get up there and we can gain some momentum, we can easily get to 10, and then we can start testing here at the 200 day. But for now, let's try to make that move going to around the 860 area like I spoke about, and then we can revisit and see what else we want to look out for. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and the short interest information for CLOV. So as we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So we can see some closed positions here, but we also see new positions that have been taken. Of course, we're going to omit what we have here from Solomon Investment Counselors going in with only 3 shares. But if we look at the 16th here, we have Parallax Volatility Advisors. They went in with a put position, and we also have Adam Investors LP that went in with just over 200K shares. So that's definitely a good look right there. We also have Credit Suisse that went in with just over 87,000 shares. We also have Marathon Trading going in with a call. We also have Investco that went in with just over 10K shares. We have DE Shaw and Co that went in with just over 28K shares. And again, we can see institutions have been opening up new positions. So this is great to see. So now as we scroll back at the top of the page, we're going to take a look at the short interest information. You can see down below the short shares availability is at 3.7 million. And as far as for the short ball fee rate, it is at 2.44%, and they're all updated just now. Now, taking a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we could see for August the 16th close, which was Monday, it was at 37.55. And as far as last week on Friday, it was at 38.53. So very minor difference there. So it'll be very interesting to see what it will be later on in the evening today. But what we do know, CLOV does have short squeeze potential. And also we do realize that institutions have been loading up on shares when we were taking a look at the filing. And I feel this is a bullish signal as well, especially if you are holding shares for a good amount of time, which I mean is between the medium and as well as the long term. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Clover Health. So you can see here on the inflow, it was at 39.01, and then on the outflow, it was at 35.61. So we ended up having an inflow day. So on the large, it was 0 for both. On the medium, we had 25.69, and then on the small, we had 13.32. This is the inflow side. And then on the outflow side, on the medium, we had 26, and on the small, we had 9.61. Keep in mind, this is in the millions as well. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see 0, which was today for August the 17th. But on the 16th, we ended up having some large scale orders being at 693.42. And then we had outflow days on the 12th and as well as the 11th. And of course, we had 0 on the 13th. So the way things are looking, yes, institutions have been loading up on large scale orders when we take into consideration the 16th. But one thing to keep in mind, just because they haven't loaded up on any for today, there's a possibility they could be purchasing shares in small and as well as medium sized orders. We do know as far as CLOV is concerned, it gets a lot of attention. And as far as the technical setup is concerned, there's not a lot of risk there. So we do know as far as retail, they're going to be involved inside this play and as well as traders and so on. So now let's jump into the final thoughts. So for my final thoughts for Clover Health, I ended up getting into a position at $8. So I'm going to be looking forward to seeing how well it performs for the rest of the week. One thing we do see clearly, there is some strength at that $8 level. So please keep that in mind for your game plan or your strategy that you may have. I know many of you are investing in CLOV for the long term as well. So when you take a look at these current prices, if you have the ability to average down, then of course this is a great opportunity. Because when I was taking a look, hey, what is the average cost for shareholders? It's around like $17. So I know there's a good amount of bag holders inside of this play, but of course, if you have high conviction and you believe in the long-term prospects, like I was saying, there's an opportunity that could be presented to you right here. Now, as far as when we went on Fintel, we could see institutions are loading up on shares. So this is good to see, but also for the short interest information, yes, it continues to have short squeeze potential. And I think that's actually part of the reasons why it gets a lot of the attention that it actually gets. But do keep in mind, due to the fact that it does have negative market sentiment, if we have a lot of volume coming through this stock and even more volume coming in regards to small caps and medium cap stocks, Clover can really start going on the move. And it's part of the reasons why I was like, you know what, let me get into a trade with this particular play. Another thing, when we took a look at the order flow distribution, we could see institutions have been getting involved. They did buy the dip. We've seen there's been some serious volatility in the overall stock price. So one of the things you want to keep in mind is that you are prepared for that, especially with the way the market has been as of late. So I hope you guys found this video helpful, and we'll be talking real soon.